Welcome back to KHOU 11's Countdown to Kickoff. We are minutes away from our round of 16 game, Canada versus Morocco.
Okay, we're all talking about what happens after the World Cup, and access to soccer is growing so quickly, and that's why this is a big topic for an organization called Roots. Juan Vega, the Director of Player Development, is joining us. Good morning, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me, it's a pleasure.
Tell us about Roots and how this came to be.
Yeah, no, of course. So we started at the end of 2023. So I left my role at the Houston Dynamo for personal reasons, and I kind of wanted to create something that I needed as a child. So Roots became that passion project for me. We started off very small, just kind of working really highly in the Edo community, and then grew into kind of having programming all over the city, free for the community.
And we're talking about kids from elementary school all the way through high school, and a lot of the programs you said are free?
Yeah, so we work really closely with the Mayor's Office of Prevention and Intervention, the Department of Neighborhoods. We work with the council member Joaquin Martinez to kind of fund a lot of our free initiatives. We also work with an organization called Our Copa. So they help us fund a lot of our programming, kind of building community, bringing it to communities that necessarily don't have these types of opportunities, and then building our community through there.
And you have a weekly event at Discovery Green. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we are on week 4 right now with Discovery Green. So we there are hosting ages 4 all the way up through adults. So we've been hosting soccer every Saturday at 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Our goal is, again, any kid that wants to try it out because they've seen the World Cup and they want to come try, they're more than welcome to do so. We have skills, we have games, so we can kind of build their confidence and not just throw them into an organized setting, but just something a little bit more free-flowing for them.
What is your expectation after the World Cup ends, as you're watching the excitement or whatever your expectation was? What do you hope happens for you and for soccer after the last game?
Yeah, I think for us, I envision Houston itself already as a soccer city, but we don't have the infrastructure for kids. So my goal is for more kids to have accessibility to continue to play. And we saw it last World Cup with the goalkeeper craze over Dibu from Argentina. We had a ton of goalkeepers. My goal now is with a lot more players to come out of Houston, but a lot more visibility for specific communities, because the culture of soccer is alive in Houston. But sometimes there's a barrier through cost. So that's kind of our goal, is to kind of eliminate that barrier and meet them where they are, and then have more visibility for these youth and more opportunities for these youth.
Okay, so I want to get your picks on today's game and get that insight in just a moment, but a very simple question. Is there any barrier to any child playing soccer in Houston?
Unfortunately, there is. Cost is always a big one. One that many people don't think about is transportation. We have a lot of families that just can't get to training, can't get to games, so transportation has always been a big one. And then also just technology in itself, awareness of what's around them. So part of what we are called Roots is when we go into these communities, we make sure that we also let families know of what else they have in their community. So for example, we work really closely with Mission Milby. They have a food pantry, they have immigration services, they have different things. So, and the families that come play soccer for us, they didn't realize that that was available for them. So that's also why we call ourselves Roots, right? We want to create roots in these communities, let them know what else is available for them.
Isn't that what makes America great? What's your website if people want more information?
Just rootsathlete.com.
Okay. Should we get into today's match?
Yeah, tell us about today's match and how you're more of a soccer expert here. What are you thinking of?
Canada's a great team, but Morocco, they're just stacked, and they have Hakimi, who's probably one of the best players in the world right now. So I have to go Morocco, but because of Canada, I would love for Canada to win, because of, add to the plot,
It'd be a huge upset for Canada to win today.
Yeah, it'd be amazing.
Juan Vega, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you. We hope the best for your organization and all the hopes and dreams that you discussed here today.